Outside tonight, cold and snow. It looks like playoff weather, but the playoff game will take place inside the Metrodome as the state semifinals. We're down to 3 teams remaining in the Class 5A tournament. Tonight, it's the Bengals and the Falcons for a berth in the Prep Bowl. Blaine winning in the opening round despite a scare, 31-28 over St. Cloud Tech, while Armstrong won their first state playoff game in nearly 20 years when they defeated Cretin-Durham Hall in the quarterfinal last Friday. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the KABL Sports Game of the Week. Tonight, it's the Bengals and the Falcons. And for Blaine, this is a team that is becoming somewhat of a regular here in the tournament. The Bengals in the Final Four for the second year in a row, and in fact, it's their 3rd consecutive trip to the tournament. The first team in Section 4AA, now Section 7 5A, to do so. The Bengals here for the 3rd time in a row, and Mark, they're trying to get back to that final game. They feel like they have a little bit of unfinished business.
Well, I think they do. They have a lot of guys back that were here last year, and I think they feel like they have a very good football team this year. They've obviously played well. They haven't lost yet this season, and I think they want to keep that rolling tonight. And I think they'd like to get it on with Eden Prairie next week.
One of the constants in this Bengal team compared to last year is their fullback, Marvin Spencer. He continues to impress, climbing the charts in state history. In fact, he has now risen to number 10 in the state in touchdowns. Notice a couple of things. Number 1, he's 3 touchdowns away from being number 4 in the state. Number 2, he's the only man on this list that's done things in 2 years. Steve Varley's with us as well tonight. And Steve, Marvin is the man for this Blaine offense.
No, I think you're right, and I think that, Bill, on your point, the best football we'll yet to see from Marvin could be to come. He's still growing, only has played football for 2 years. This year's done a much better job of just hitting the holes. Last year was trying to find himself a little bit. This year he's hitting the holes well, getting through and getting in the secondary. Really is effective going side to side. He can move laterally just as well as north-south.
3 touchdowns last year in this game, the semifinal win against Stillwater. He's the guy the Bengals need to carry the load tonight and next week if the Bengals are going to have a shot at a state championship. Robbinsdale Armstrong reaching here to the semifinals is noteworthy because of the fact that it's been a long time since the Classic Lake put a team in this position. In fact, it was the first win for a Classic Lake Conference team since 1991 when Richfield defeated Stillwater in the quarterfinal round. And Mark, this is a league that year in and year out seems to be the most overrated of the state, but this Armstrong team doesn't necessarily fit that mold. They've improved a great deal since the start of the season.
Well, they have improved a great deal, and I think part of it is getting their running back, Gilbert, back. He missed some games early in the year. Since he's come back, they've really been able to move the football on the ground, and they seem to be gaining confidence and hitting their stride at the right time just as they get here to the Dome tonight.
Gilbert missed the first 6 games of the season, then returned. He played part-time in Game 7, a loss to Wayzata, but you don't need to look any further than the second meeting against these teams. A win against Wayzata in the sectionals, a team that had beaten them earlier in the year, a big win against Edina in the sectionals.
Yeah, and like I said, they're a team that's building right now. They feel like they're coming on at the right time. They hope to make it a ball game here tonight. I think they feel like they're the underdogs, and maybe rightfully so, but I think they also feel like they can compete.
Well, Mark, 3 times has the team that lost the championship the year before been back in the finals, and as I mentioned, not since 1991. Steve, you have to have defense to win here. It's nice to have Marvin Spencer running, but the Bengals are one of the top defenses, and as you check out some numbers on the defenses here in the state tournament, it's no surprise that 4 of the top 5 survived that first round and advanced to the semifinal.
No, I agree with you. You build teams on defense. As much as we talk about offense and focus on backs and wide receivers and quarterbacks, it's defense that wins championships for you. There's no better defensive team, and Blaine's proven that year in and year out.
They're at the 24, I formation. They give to the fullback, Ray. Ray is across the 30, out to the 31-yard line. Chad Mason on the defensive play for the Bengals.
Up about playing here.
Roller with an end-over-end wobbler. He was rocked. It takes a Blaine bounce. A strange play at the back end. No fair catch was called. So 2 costly penalties against Armstrong here in the opening minutes of the football game.
Strength carried him.
Inside the 25 and down to the 23-yard line, a gain of 10. He may be somewhat of the wild card in this Bengal offense. as a team in the big school class advanced to back-to-back state finals. Spencer. All the way down to the 5-yard line, and he went 17 yards before he was hit.
Disrupts everything with the lineman coming from the backside.
The field goal attempt is good. Opposing offense has scored just 6 points a game against Blaine during the regular season. Gilbert explodes up the middle, across the 35 and out to the 37.
You can sort of hide behind his blockers, and you don't really even know where he is sometimes.
Here he is again, out to the 44. Ball pops loose. Gilbert blow it back. They blow it down at the 44-yard line. Gilbert had a costly fumble last week.
Nobody has really driven the ball against Blaine this season, so it'd be interesting to see what will happen if they are able to continue.
Casey Cantu comes up and corrals Gilbert back at the 49-yard line, a loss of 4.
Quite a good tackle.
Gilbert looking to throw it. Heaves it long for Sloan, and it's incomplete. Sloan nearly made the catch, despite double coverage from Kunza and Dykoff.
Sure, you can find something. It was pretty sunny.
Spencer. Across the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, Bengals at the 37-yard line. Spencer hesitates, and he's into the secondary. A first down in midfield. A gain of 13 on the play. And the Bengals marching on the ground through this Falcon defense.
They carry out their fakes and carry out their assignments in this week.
Ekman's first carry of the night. Fumbles the football. And it looks like the Bengals got it back. Although no signal yet. Ekman had it stripped away on his first carry of the night. And the Falcons have it at the 27-yard line. Give themselves a little bit better chance to run the football. The pitch to Gilbert. Just Vigor is there and drops him at the 26. Vigor took on his block and brought the blocker and the ball carrier down in one swing of the big right arm.
That's a great call by the Blaine defense there, Mark, slanting to that side.
Just across the 40. Play action, roller to throw. Looking long, Olsen there, has it. And is caught from behind at the 6-yard line. Roller to Ryan Olsen, the first completion of the night for the Bengal offense, and it's a big one, 54 yards.
That's a nice call by Blaine right now. They run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, and this time they did a little play action. Roller steps back, and Olsen finds himself open down the left side. Roller with a very nice pinpoint pass and just laying that one right in there.
Well, a lot of touch, Mark. We've seen him throw the ball extremely hard in the seams. This time Boyer going across to try to help out. Excuse me, that's Hancock. Really on the backside of the play for the sweep, no reason to go for it. And Blaine gets behind him. Good pass by Roller, good catch.
And now you go back to Spencer. He bangs it down to the 2-yard line. Spencer in for the touchdown. His 22nd of the year. And for the 52nd time in a 2-year career, Marvin Spencer crosses the stripe.
Fine job of getting off the football.
Kick bobbled by Sloan, but he has it back. Sloan with one man to beat. Rakuski catches him from behind at the 40-yard line.
Blaine just comes right down with the lineman and follows the play to the ball.
Play action. Fuller fires, caught at the 22-yard line. He threw a strike over the middle, and Steve Wallen on the receiving end of this one. Bengals show blitz. Play action. Whitney can't make the catch. It's intercepted by Cantu at the 3-yard line.
Well, Moeller really tried to fire that one in there. It got popped up in the air, and Cantu doing a nice job of reacting to the football.
Made big plays all year. They've intercepted 16 balls this season. Spencer out to the 15, and that's enough for a first down. Spencer all the way out to the 31-yard line, picking his way right from the beginning, and he goes for 15.
A little alligator-ish.
The reverse. And Ariano bangs down to the Armstrong 47-yard line. It will leave Blaine with a 3rd and 2.
And go straight up the field towards the goal post.
Ariano with a first down carry to the 37-yard line. Already a 10-point lead for Blaine. Ekman fumbled on his only previous carry of the night. Takes this one down to the 22, a gain of 13. Ariano inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. The 13th play of the drive. Ariano for the touchdown.
Boy, you just saw a classic sweep there, Mark. It just was a beautifully set up. Andy Bullock pulling. He's the second guy through. As he came through the line, no one to block, so he looks back and springs Ariano. He does just a well-schooled team.
First and 10 Armstrong. On the option, Moeller to Gilbert. To the 41-yard line, a gain of 7. Moeller to throw. Caught by Sloan at the 44-yard line. Well, there's a nice touch throw by Moeller. He just floated it over the underneath zone coverage, and it goes for an Armstrong first down on a gain of 15.
There is no,
I don't know how else to describe it. Here's Gilbert on the swing pass. All the way down to the 33-yard line.
That's exactly why you have to get him the ball every time. He's the only threat that they have so far tonight.
Bengals looking like they're blitzing. They are. But Moeller has time and hits Sloan. Gives ground and makes the first down to the 21-yard line. A gain of 12. Yarzu Sloan makes a big play. Clock running inside 7 minutes. Moeller to the end zone for O'Leary, intercepted by Casey Cantu. This ought to do it. Cantu back to the 23-yard line. Lights out Falcons.
I just don't agree with the play calling at all by Robbinsdale Armstrong. You have a threat as Gilbert. He's proven that he can just take defenders downfield. We finally saw the flare pass to him.
Olsen wide to the left, down to 5:15 remaining. Ariano's moved to fullback. Takes this one out to the 44-yard line. A gain of 17 and a first down. Bengals coming on a blitz. Moeller heaves over the middle, intercepted by Dykoff. No Rakuski. Luke Rakuski picks it off and takes it back to the 48-yard line.
Quote unquote ugly right now, and it's settled to win ugly next week, I can tell you that.
Moster with it again, and he will score. And takes a senseless late hit from Kyle Hancock. But the Bengals,
one of those plays out of frustration that we really don't need.
And another injured Bengal behind the play. It's a 30-yard touchdown run for Moster, his 4th touchdown of the year. And another look at a great run by Moster. draw to Ray for 3 yards, and brings us to the end of this one. Next Saturday night from the Metrodome, the rematch about whom the entire state has been talking all season will take place. The Bengals and the Eagles will tee it up again here from the Dome Saturday night. The final, Bengals 24, Falcons nothing. Our post-game show coming up next. This is the KABL Sports Game of the Week. We're joined now by head coach Dave Nelson, who has your team back where they're supposed to be in this prep bowl. This is the game you guys have been pointing at and talking about all season.
Yeah, it's been quite a year, and expectations were set early in the year when they said it might be Blaine Eden Prairie, and that was back in August, and we've heard a lot about that, and really tried not to think about it, but it hopefully should be a great football game. They're a great football team. I watched them last night, and they got a lot of great players, and but you know, our kids set a goal early that they wanted to win the state championship, and that's what we're going to come down here to do.
Well, really a bizarre season, because I've never seen a year where two teams were maybe so much better than the rest of the state. Even the next best teams couldn't compete with your teams this year. And it makes this game maybe as anticipated as any prep bowl has ever been. Yeah,
I'd agree. You know, for us to beat teams like Anoka 42-7, and then Stillwater 42-7, and Forest Lake, and you know, I think we've scored in the high numbers every game, really, except for a couple. And it's been a really incredible year. And then you watch Eden Prairie basically do the same thing. So it should be a great football game, and hopefully it'll live up to its billing.
Well, and obviously adding to this mystique is the way it ended last year, with you guys losing on the two-point conversion play at the end of the game, and now you get back there, and throughout the season you can't talk about it. You don't want your kids to think about it, but you're kind of watching Eden Prairie with one eye and just keeping an eye on what they're doing.
Well, a little bit. You know, you always look at the top teams and what the competition might be down the line, but you know, we're going to come ready to play, and last year's last year, and you know, I still think if you know, you call a different play, maybe we're the state champs and they're not, and then it's you know, 3 yards is all that separated us. But you know, hopefully I know one thing: our kids will come in, they'll battle. They're really tough kids, and they'll come down here with one thought in mind: that's to win.
Let's talk a little bit about tonight's game, because a great effort by your defense, coming on the heels of maybe the first night all year where they were tested a little bit by St. Cloud Tech. They really bounced back well.
Yeah, and we challenged them all week. Shannon Gary did a great job, our defense coordinator, and he laid it on the line to him, said, you're better than what you showed, and it's got to, the little mistakes got to stop, and I thought we really dominated, you know, from that side of the ball, and you know, can't say enough about them. They're tough kids.
Coach, enjoy this one. Congratulations on the return trip. Good luck with the Eagles.
Thanks, Anthony.
It's Dave Nelson, Bengal head. They'll be back here next Saturday night, to take on Eden Prairie in the Prep Bowl.